Hi everyone, welcome to Dunrovin Ranch in lovely Lolo, Montana. I am your ranch manager, Kelly, and thank you for visiting with me today. I thought we could start off with a little discussion about our horses' feet and what we do to keep their feet healthy and working well for them. It's something that a lot of people probably don't think about, that these big, strong animals are pretty self-sufficient, that they don't need a lot of care, but you know, a horse with bad feet is not, they say, here's what they say, no hoof, no horse, and that's pretty much true. Horses have evolved into having one toe, so their hoof can be thought of as a single toe. The outside is a hard surface we call the hoof wall, and it's much like our fingernail. But inside the hoof, it's a very, very complicated, very, very blood-rich, almost its own organ. And I'll talk to you a little bit about what we do to protect the hooves of domestic horses. I'll introduce my special guest today. These are my horses. I know, big reveal. This is Crow. He's a 15-hand, 13-year-old Appaloosa. It's my boy Crow. And he's our barefoot horse, the horse without shoes. We're going to discuss him. And this is Erskine. Erskine's been at the ranch for what, 4 or 5 years? Erskine has shoes on, and I just bought Erskine. So I am horse rich, as they say. Hey, buddy. In the wild, horses, obviously, we don't shoe wild horses. And the reason is because if they have weak feet, you know, if they're born with feet that can't withstand being in various terrain and in various weather conditions, then they don't survive. So wild horses are known for having great feet, healthy feet, good blood circulation, good tissue connection. And when people adopt wild horses, which you can do, they say they make amazing trail horses because their feet are so hardy, so strong, and so healthy. But we've domesticated these amazing guys, amazing animals, and we breed them and breed them and breed them, and sometimes we don't breed for the trait of great feet. So we have to take care of our horses' feet. There's 2 ways to do that. One is to put horseshoes on them, and one is to leave them barefoot. That's what we call shoes, or the horse has been shod, and a horse without shoes is barefoot. Now there's, oh man, how many kinds of shoes? 20? I don't know. There's all kinds of different shoes. Most are made of steel. Some, like for race horses, are made out of aluminum, because they're lighter. Shoes come in a standard shape, really, and then that's when the horseshoer or the farrier pounds the shoe into the shape of that particular horse's foot. There are shoes that have various metal inserts in them, so to speak, to provide support on an unhealthy foot for where it needs more support. I'm going to show you, if I can show you Erskine's foot, I'll show you what a shoe looks like on a horse. And Erskine here, these shoes were put on probably at least 8 weeks ago, which is a long time. You know, so an average of 6 weeks is what you look at when you shoe a horse. Some horses can go longer. And some horses need to be shod more often. It depends on how fast their feet grow and what you use them for. A horse scrambling around on rocks is going to go through shoes faster than a horse who just does light arena work, say, in sand. I'm going to move him over a bit. Maybe a little more. Go ahead, buddy. A Let him get settled. It's okay. Picks up his feet nicely. I'm going to clean his feet with what we call a hoof pick. So you can see, can you hear that? Now that does not seem like an iron shoe to me. He was not shod by our own farrier. He was shod by his trainer's farrier. And there are as many opinions as there are people, but he seemed to have done quite well in these. So, that's Erskine's foot. That is a shod hoof right there. Nails are driven in from the bottom through the wall of the foot. It doesn't hurt. There are things that we call hot nails. When a nail goes into the tissue, it is very uncomfortable, and the horse will let you know, and you pull the nail and start over. What you can see on this hoof, I don't know if you can see it, is the wear right here on the toe. And it's wearing a little bit on the outside of his foot. So his shoes will be pulled, taken off on Thursday, as will everyone's shoes, Thursday and Friday, so they can be barefoot for the winter. And I'm going to ask our farrier why he wears his foot that way. Thanks, buddy. And he is shod all the way around, or a full set of shoes refers to all 4 feet being done. Sometimes you only shoe the front feet, right, Crow? Good boy. So now Crow has had shoes, and now he's barefoot. I had his shoes pulled or removed because I didn't think I'd be riding him that much, but it turned out I've taken him on some trail rides, and he was tender. So because he was tender, I didn't want him to bruise the sole of his hoof, because that can cause all kinds of, that can cause more problems than just soreness, inflammation, whatnot. So, I know. And he's an Appaloosa, he's always a little irritated. Also, second reveal is I am going on a road trip. Last year I planned it, it didn't happen. This year I am going. Crow and I and my 2 dogs are going to be going to the Southwest for some R&R and sunshine. And I'm going to take this guy, and I'm going to have shoes put on him Thursday or Friday, because I don't know where we'll be riding, what the terrain will be like. So rather than put hoof boots on and off every day, I'm going to have him shod. I could put boots on every day, but as you can see, some boots are a little difficult to deal with. This is a boot, which in a sense takes the place of a shoe. I know. Why would you put on a boot and not a shoe? Well, some people believe that it's healthier for the hoof not to have a shoe. Obviously, a metal shoe will not expand and contract, but a horse's hoof does. It expands and contracts, and some people believe that it's healthier to let the horse be barefoot and to put on a boot when you need extra protection. A boot is also used if your horse has a sick hoof and you need to protect it while it's healing. They have boots that you use just for traveling with your horse. So your horse would not have shoes, and you put on boots, these boots, or any of the many kinds, many kinds of boots, to your horse, so the padding absorbs the vibration of the road. So I'm going to show you an unshod hoof, if I can. I don't know if James can come all the way over here or if something's blocking. Let me try to move him over. How about a little bit more, Crow? Good boy. I'm gonna move him over a little bit like this. You'll live, I promise. So here is an unshod hoof, and this is getting so much better about standing for me. So this is an unshod hoof, and he's long, which means he needs a trim. And you might be able to see kind of the end of his toe, we call it. See, it's a little bit long, like a long fingernail would be. No. And so we're going to, the shoer farrier will trim that off and nail a shoe into him. Right, buddy? So I will put this shoe on, actually, this boot on for you. His toe's a little long, but these particular boots, I like them very much. But they're also kind of known as difficult to get on and off. But we're gonna do it because we should practice anyway. You all right? You gonna live? Make sure. And if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat, and James will relay them to me, and I can answer them live for you. It's not quite on. Yeah, it is a bit of a struggle. Some boots just slap right on. I do have 4 of these. So you can see why. Don't do it. Actually, his foot's too long to even get it on all the way. But you can see why I wouldn't want to struggle. You know, I could be a little lazy sometimes. I know. Why I don't want to struggle with this every day. And you don't leave them on all the time. For instance, I can't put them on once and leave them on for 2 months because you can't get any air circulation in there. I'll take it off. Air circulation in there. There you go. For the foot to breathe, which you do need, or you get bacterial infections and fungal infections and things like that. But I do love these boots. There you go. I don't tell him it looks like a Mary Jane. I tell him it looks like a combat boot. They're rubber with Velcro. This is a gaiter that you can add to the bottom, which keeps dirt out and helps keep it on. This is like a ski boot, kind of a latch. And these boots, because as you can see, I know, hang on. This is tight. This is very strong wire, which goes around the back, and you tighten it down. You really don't want to manipulate that with your fingers, because if the horse should spook and pull, it could damage your hands pretty good. Most boots are made of rubber or a kind of composite material. There are so many kinds. But I'm pretty sold on these, as a matter of fact. These are made by Easy Boot. The style is Epic. And you can buy replacement parts. It's expensive to shoe or boot your horse. But that's good. What else? When you put a boot or a shoe on, you want to make sure also that the frog of the foot, which is a triangular shape. Can you demo, buddy? This is the frog right here. You want it to make contact with the ground because it acts as a pump, which pumps blood all the way back up through the body. But not only is the frog a pump, but the whole foot's a pump. If you get poor circulation in the foot, if you have damage or too much bruising, it's amazing that these huge 1,100 pound or 1,600 pound animals can be unrideable and so sick that they have to be put down just from having a sick foot. So it's really important to keep them healthy. And that starts with diet and nutrition, proper exercise, proper shoeing or proper booting, or you will not have a horse. Do we have any questions, James? Besides, why is so Kelly's out of breath? Because it's hard putting these boots on. But I can't quite hear you, James. You know, that's a good question. Are there sweat glands? I've never heard of a horse having to sweat through their feet, but they're porous enough that there has to be air circulation under, or you develop what's called thrush, which is not unlike thrush in your mouth, for example. So you don't want to enclose bacteria or moisture in there. That's why it's important that you check the feet. You clean them every so often, and you check them, and you make sure that they don't have thrush, that their foot is getting air. Kind of like your own. Well, our feet do sweat, don't they? I'm thinking, you know, when you wear shoes all the time. I did notice Erskine has a little bit of thrush, which is just a small bacterial or fungal infection, and you can tell right away from the smell. So I'll give him a little treatment and clear that up. Sometimes horses can be very, very lame from thrush, and you don't think it's thrush, but they can get it way deep down in their feet. Thank you, buddy. You're so good. This is called the sulcus, right there. And they can get thrush way in their foot. But he has good looking. Yeah, that's a good question. Do you take a boot as a backup in case you throw a shoe? Absolutely. Carry them in our packs or our saddlebags. If you throw a shoe and your horse is tender, you really have to just get off and walk out from wherever you are. It can be very painful. I guess I can make kind of an analogy with if you cut your fingernail really, really, really short, past the quick, you know. Hi, this is Wyatt. He lives next door. Hi, Wyatt. How are you today? You're crashing the broadcast, buddy. Yeah, and see, this is also something good to know about your horse, that he knows how to untie himself. Very clever. Very clever boy. And this is good to know when we're out on the road, isn't it? Yeah. I have actually put a boot on a horse that had a shoe. I don't remember why I did that. Maybe because his foot was tender underneath. Boot manufacturers tell you not to do that, but I think it's mostly because it voids the warranty on the boot. Look at him. Hi, guys. It's a matter of opinion. I do my horses daily. The string horses here, we let dirt get packed in there, and it serves as protection when they're out there on the rocks. If you've seen us go on our trail ride across the river, the shore is quite rocky, and it provides some more protection for the foot. When the farrier comes, he digs he cleans their feet, and then we can see if they've developed a little thrush or what's going on in there, and we can treat it if necessary. If a horse is a little bit lame, if they seem a little off, sore, then we'll clean their feet to see if there's a rock embedded somewhere. Occasionally they will get a rock. Pick your foot up again, okay? He's like, what's going on here? Occasionally they can get a rock between the shoe and their hoof in here. And it's not unlike you getting a rock in your shoe. And we want to make sure they're comfortable. Comfortable horse is a happy horse, and a happy horse is a happy rider. And the converse is also true. You can walk. I'm going to take this off. So this is a process, guys. Like that. I don't know if you can see. I take the hoof pick and loosen the wire. Take your foot up, buddy. There you go. Thank you for that. So if we don't have any more questions, or if you come up with questions later, please put them in the chat and I'll answer them for you. Until next time, I'm Ranch Manager Kelly. This is neighbor dog Wyatt. This is Crow. And this is Erskine. And thanks so much for joining us today. See you next time.